right, it's me again. It's funny how the more that you do this, the more you start to find. Okay, let me stop preaching. The more that I do this, the more I start to find that each time I get into position to try and set up this video, I'm looking for little bits and pieces that I can improve on from the last time. And I think that's just normal. I think that's just human nature, the natural evolution of progression as you continue to do something. Because in anything in life, anything that I've done, whether it be sales, waiting tables, in a past life, and this is another story for another time, delivering hot tubs and working in that type of industry, working as a physical therapy technician. You start out not knowing what you're doing. Hence, then you go through training over time to figure it out a little bit more. And the individual that spends more time in training and development outside of the work hours tends to be the individual that progresses much faster than the other that does not. Now, whether or not that aligns with that person's vision and what they want for themselves is completely up to that person. There's no right or wrong way of going about it. But that being said, yeah, day 4, recording these videos, talking to the camera, just assessing my comfortability, just expressing thoughts, what's on my mind, and letting things flow. Of course, there's no script again to this, just the spirit moving through me and delivering whatever message. And today, something that really stuck with me is just this concept that I've been wrestling with for decades. Okay, can't say decades, I'm only 31 years old. So for years is more accurate. But the thought of wrestling with your life purpose and like what that is, what that means. Does it mean I need to stumble upon something that's so vast and grand that boom, now going forward in life, I've got everything figured out and I'm just going to go after this and it'll never change? Is that realistic? Or on this other side, is it something that's maybe not even tied to how I earn money? Maybe it's just something more charitable, something just in service of others, completely divorced from any economic thinking or necessities. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But I've been reflecting in many books, spending time with God, the Bible, quiet time, just to figure, am I going about it the right way? I don't know. I don't know if it's a matter of continuing to spend enough solitude with myself, journaling, and then one day the right things are just going to come to mind and I'm just going to know the answer. A part of my brain believes that's true. Then another part of me wonders or fights against that idea of saying, no, just go out there, say yes to more things, go do more things, and you will stumble upon it. But then remain open to God presenting that idea to you and just letting your heart and intuition take over when that time comes. That seems more pragmatic, and I think it satisfies my left brain a bit, because my left brain tends to try and figure out A, B, C, D, E, like steps 1 through Z, whatever that is. But life doesn't tend to work that way, at least for me so far. Then there's the other side where I'm simply remaining in the moment. I know that one of my weak points up till life and now is when it comes to scheduling every part of my day, every part of my week. It feels rigid and robotic to me, and I like to be a little bit more free-flowing. I think there's a simple counterbalance to strike there, which I'm in progress and working on. It's a much different life of adapting from being a W-2 worker to a 1099 self-employed individual where you're running your own schedule, everything relies on you, versus having these pre-planned, preordained places that you're supposed to be or times in which you're supposed to be at certain meetings on one end as well. There's no right or wrong. I'm not saying one's better, one's worse, but it's really a matter of adaptation. And in order to continue living this particular life that I've been blessed and granted, I've got to adapt. I've got to evolve and stay open to what is next. Intentionality is what it comes down to, is what I believe. Being intentional about anything, really. But in this phase of life, being intentional in terms of what specifically do I want to bring into this world by leveraging the gifts given to me by God? And what do I want my life to look like specifically from a design standpoint, and how that's going to shape out, and how will it impact the people I love, and impact the people close to me, and impact the people I have yet to meet in a social standing as well. This is what makes things very exciting every step of the day, every moment that I get to wake up and blessed to do so. So many opportunities. But the thing about so many opportunities is going back to intentionality, being clear on a particular vision, because without that vision, everything seems like a great idea. But when there's a vision in place, you're able to be a lot more discerning in relation to what makes sense and what doesn't make sense for you to work on in this present moment, which is all we have at the end of the day. So just some thoughts, rambling once again. And that's day 4 of me talking through the camera. If anyone ever comes across this video or sees it, maybe there'll be a nugget where it's like, you know what? I was thinking about that too. Be curious if you'd actually talk a little bit more about that and your experience there. Who knows? We'll see. But we're just having fun for now. And until tomorrow, we'll keep it live.